morning. Good morning. Welcome off the bench sports prep news fans. How's everyone's day going? You okay? I'm muted, coach. Say something. Uh yeah, I can't hear you, coach. Great day, great Friday morning. Man, we have a very special guest joining us today, but we're trying to get his volume right. So just bear with us 1 second.
They unmute. Hey, how about now?
That's it right there.
All right, perfect. Thank you. You're the best. Thank you. Kids know. All right, over. Hold on, over.
Good morning. Joining us is legendary. He don't like all that stuff, y'all. Let me stop playing with it. Joining us this morning, STM Cougars head ball coach Danny Broussard. What's up, coach? How's it going?
Well, good morning. Sorry about all this tech. I told you I'm tough with technology. I'm not really good with that technology, so I apologize. Hey, Hobart, take one of the kids. That teacher's trying to figure it out. Just bring the kids in. They know how to do it. So thank God we got that kid on. So sorry about that, but yeah, everything's going great. How about you?
It's going great, man. Just trying to build this new product, this new platform. They said if you build it, they will come. So
there you go. I love it.
That's what I'm trying to do. I want we've had you on before on other shows and stuff, doing interviews we've done. But real quick, give the viewers a little insight on who Danny Broussard is.
Well, Danny Broussard's a country boy from Leroy, Louisiana.
Uh-oh. Probably won't walk back out the office again, coach. Uh-oh, he froze up on us, y'all. Oh, coach gone. Hopefully he'll be back soon, you guys. Hey, how's everybody's morning going? How's everybody's morning going? Great Friday. I want to share something with y'all real fast. While we wait to see if Coach Broussard is going to be able to make it back in. So on yesterday, like just super exhausted, and I had said that I was gonna stop burning the candle, as they said, at both ends. And so I wake up yesterday, I do the show, and I thought it was a really phenomenal show. And when I get done, something just hits me and said, goes to your son game. And now my son plays on Mondays and Thursdays. That should have been an indicator that it was Thursday. But for some reason, I thought all day was yesterday. Well, all day yesterday was Wednesday. It wasn't until 10:30 last night that I realized yesterday was Thursday. I thought that was the funniest thing. Let's see if he's ready. Coach,
right,
you back?
On?
Whew, yeah, man. Back.
Modern technology. I told you I'm not good. I don't know what I did. I didn't touch anything.
No, it's sometimes it's the location.
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Right. So you're a young guy from Leroy, Louisiana.
Yep.
Give us a little more.
Well, I went to Moe High School, Hobart, which is small class C school. I always say my claim to fame is I played against not Michael Jordan. I played. He went to Summerfield High School. Carl Malone, the mailman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
lost him in the state championship game my senior year, 1977. He was only eighth grader at the time, real skinny.
Wow.
Yeah, but I played against Carl Malone, so lost in the state championship game. Went on to USL, graduated from there in '82. My first job ever, Hobart, was the freshman football, basketball, and
Yeah, we've lost him again, y'all. I don't know if he's on this computer or not, but it's probably finna kick out again. So what we'll do is we have a lot of games.
here we go
Okay.
again.
Oh, there we go. No, you better now. I think you're gonna be all right now.
Oh, but you know what? I'm gonna go outside. I'm in the back right here. I think I have some batteries.
Mhm. See, it's times like this when you have to be able to multitask because you never know when glitches are gonna happen and you take it with a grain of salt and you just keep it moving, keep it moving. So until coach gets ready or gets aggravated, see, it just kicked out. So what we're gonna do is until our next guest comes on, we're gonna talk about a few boys basketball games, and then somewhere in between we'll talk about some girls basketball games, and then the second part of the show, it's a big weekend in high school soccer. Like Coach told you guys yesterday, they got 1 or 2 more weeks left in high school soccer before the playoffs begin. So they have a lot of big games in boys and girls soccer tonight. First game we're going to talk about tonight is Atlanta versus Georgetown. That is an away game for Atlanta. Should be a good matchup. Epps Shudrint in Class B. That's a home game for Epps. That start time is 6 p.m. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a great time to come out and support high school athletics. It doesn't matter what city or state you live in. It's always a good time to go out and support high school athletics. Now, mind you, the best amateur athletes in the world call Louisiana home, but we can't control. Oh, yeah, we control that one. Y'all thought y'all had me. We're the best. All right, we're going to try Coach Broussard one more time. Bam, he's back. He's outside now.
Don't know what's
okay,
going
Coach.
on. Don't know what's going on. But to make a long story short, back in '82, I get a freshman job here. My brother Ricky leaves to go to USL the second year to coach with Bobby Pascal, and there's nobody around but me to coach the basketball team. They got no other choice. They stuck with me. We win the district, but we lose the first playoff game. I'm thinking, well, that's it for me.
Yeah.
Little did I know my AD went to bat for me. Principal gave me a chance, hired me on as kind of a temporary type thing for a year. Then we had a really good year, and I've been here it's my 40th year, so been very blessed.
Wow, that's awesome, Coach. Oh man, 40 years at one school, won over 1,000 games, multiple state championships. Coached a ton of talent. Tonight, he plays one of his former students, kid he put in college, guy that I like to call friend. He's the head coach at Southside High School. St. Thomas More, Southside, go to battle tonight. Should be a really great game. Should be a really great game from an aspect of competition. Both teams. Well, now this year maybe the Rabbit has the gun. Coach Broussard has, they're always going to be talented, but sometimes with talent, you got to have that experience. You got to have that experience, and that's what Coach Broussard says that they're lacking is experience. And so I say this all the time. Talent may be hard work when hard work fails, but experience is always the greatest teacher. Experience will take you places that like a lot of other things won't. And so that's what you got to go with. But Southside STM tonight at STM, that's probably a game where it's gonna be standing room only. You can't ask for more than that. The teacher versus the student, who now becomes the mentee, and that's Brad Boyd. Coach Broussard has a lot of kids that he's coached at the high school level that has gone on to become coaches. So he still gets all of those guys under his coaching tree, I believe. And so that's just some great stuff. All right, we don't go back to games till we see if our next guest is coming. Gibson Coleman, that's tonight, 7 p.m. at Gibson Coleman at Summerfield tonight, 7 p.m. start time. Hornbeck, Pleasant Hill, that's a home game for Pleasant Hill. That start time is 6 p.m. Really great game. Jehovah Jireh, Parkview, that's a home game for Jehovah Jireh. That game is probably going to be played at Estruma. All right, let's try. Let's try. He said one more time, so let's try it one more time, y'all. Hold on 1 second. All right, Coach.
Hobart, they told me to come to this classroom. They said it's the best reception, so we'll try one more. If we go off next time, that'll be it. But hopefully, we'll stay on.
Hey, I'm here. I'm with you. I'm following. Right. So, I was trying to give the viewers some accolades on you. Yeah. I just I don't know how much justice I do it, but how's the season been going for you guys?
Tell you, Hobart, it's been an interesting season, and we knew going in that we're going to have some struggles, because when you lose the quality of players that we had, it's going to happen. I mean, Hobart, 4 Division I, not basketball, but 4 Division I athletes on that court. 4 of them: Besh, Bouillon, Domingue, and Jay Shelvin. So it's hard to replace those guys. We got some really nice young kids, but no experience on that court. So we've had some struggles. But man, if you'd have told me right now, Coach, you're going to be 18-4, I'd have been like, what? Give me the contract right now. I'll sign it now. So, and look, Hobart, our 4 losses are to McMain. I think they're number 2 in 4A. Carr, I think Carr is 1 in 4A. Alexandria Senior High, I think they're 2 in 5A. And North Central, they're number 1 in Class 1A. So our losses are some really quality teams, So again, I'm pleased with where we are. We still got a ways to go. Division II is going to be tough, Hobart. Liberty might be the best team in the state this year. They beat Scotlandville. They beat Catholic by 20. They have some impressive wins, Right. And my boy down the road, Errol Golf. I know you know Coach Golf.
Yes, sir.
He's one of the best. And he's got a hell of a freshman and a senior. So he's definitely going to be a team to beat. And then you never count out U-High and De La Salle. So, it is what it is going to be. And it's going to be tough in Division II. But, I think we'll be in the hunt.
Right. it's always interesting to see, Coach, when you've been at STM a long time and you've graduated a lot of kids through your program, and now it looks like the circle has come full circle.
Yeah.
Tonight you guys get Brad Boyd, Southside Sharks.
Yeah.
What's that game like for you, and what's the emotion behind it?
Yeah. It's a catch-22. I don't, you don't like former players because, I mean, golly, I mean, I want success for Brad, but obviously I want to beat him tonight, and he wants to beat me.
Right.
But this is a true story. I don't know exactly the record, but I played against my former players, Mike Bourgeois when he was at ESA. I played against Jason Fothery. I played against Eric Mouton and Brad Boyd. And I'm like, I don't know exact record, but it's like 12-1. And the only blemish is Brad Boyd. Now, Hobart, I got to put an asterisk on that. It was Hobart. It was at Opelousas High. We got 4 walking calls in the last 4 minutes of the game. For some reason, the referees kept doing this, kept walking. I don't know what that came. And listen to me. 3 seconds. We got called for 2-3 seconds. We ain't gotten called for 2 all year long, but we were in the lane too long in the fourth quarter at Opelousas. I'm going to leave it at that. Hey, bottom line is I got beat that night by Brad Boyd. So he wants to get win number 2, right? And I don't want to let him get win number 2. But no, listen, it chalks up to be a great game. Brad's got a great record this year. He's played a tough schedule. We played the Sunkist Shootout. He came out 3rd with some really good teams. It's going to be a barn burner tonight, man. I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to have to play.
What do you guys have to do to get the victory tonight?
Yeah, well, Hobart, you've seen Brad play before. Brad there's no secrets about it. He's a 3-point shooter when he was here. He's a 3-point shooter at USL. And guess what? As a coach, he lets his guys shoot the 3. So they're going to be flying up there. 2 things have to happen. We have to pressure the shooters. Got to hope that they don't go in when they're hot, man. Listen, they were down for Ellender. I don't know exactly, but I was a Sunkist. It was a throw. I wasn't really watching a ton of it, but Hobart, they were down like, I don't know, at least 15 at half, and came back in the second half, because that's what they do. When they get hot and shoot threes, they're back. You're never comfortable with them because they can always shoot their way back into it when they get hot. So, it's a game that we're going to have to put our foot on the pedal and contest the threes, 3-point shooters. And Hobart, I think a big thing is, you can't give them, 3-point shots lead to long rebounds, right? And to second shot. So that's what we got to do. We got to make sure that those long threes that are misses, that we don't give them 2 and 3 possessions, because we can't afford to do that. So we've been rebounding pretty well for this year. It's going to take a good effort tonight on the boards and not give them second shots to be able to come out with a W.
Right. Coach, sorry we got to kind of, maybe we had to do a little condensed version of the interview, but I definitely want to have you back.
No problem.
Because it's a lot of your story that people need to know. Yeah. It's a really great story about a kid from Leroy, Louisiana. And you've done a lot of great things. Again, I kind of gave some of your accomplishments out while you were trying to get back connected.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I do it justice, but man, you've had a really stellar career.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you're going to try to put your foot on Coach Boyd's neck tonight and not remove it.
Yeah, we're going to try to beat him, but I appreciate that, Hobart. And Hobart, the main thing is that I've been very blessed, and I'm just proud of all the kids. The state championships are nice, Hobart. They really are. They're nice, but it's really not what we're about. It's really not what I'm about. And look, man, I could tell you, accomplishments of the kids I've coached. Man, I'm so proud to have been the leader and to just have been a small part of these guys' lives, because we have some special kids that have come through this program, and I'm proud of what they have done beyond basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
So, hey, everyone, please, we want to thank Coach Danny Broussard, STM Cougars boys basketball. They have the Southside Sharks at STM tonight. If you're in the Opelousas area, hey, take the short trip up to 190, and it's on your left. Yeah, you ain't know I knew where your school was at, huh? Yeah, that's
Well, yeah, I know you know.
yeah.
I know you know.
It's right. It's right there on the left. Like
That's right.
when you
450 East Farrow Road. 450 East Farrow.
you
Come on
know.
tonight. It's gonna be it should be a really good game. It's exciting and seriously, it could go either way, and we'll see whoever's a better team tonight is gonna probably win. And I'm looking forward to challenging the
if
bad boy.
if you wear off the bench sports gear to the game, Coach Broussard is gonna let you in the game free tonight.
There you go. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. You're the man, Hobart. You're the man. All right.
I
Take
wish.
care. Thanks for having me,
Coach.
All right.
No doubt. All right, you guys. Let's do this real quick to reverse. All right, we're back. Joining us right now is really great guy. I think that he missed his calling. We're gonna bring him in. Coach, oh wow, we're just having all kind of connectivity issues today. You'll see. I guess I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, we back, y'all. Let's go. Joining us right now is a guy I think that missed his calling. He probably should have been a comedian because he always has me laughing when we're around each other. Please welcome LSU head basketball coach Larry Cordaro. What's up, Coach? Welcome.
What's going on off the bench? How are you doing this morning?
I'm great, man. Great. We had.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. We had Coach Broussard on before you, and he had a little connectivity issues.
He's the comedian.
Yes. I think all coaches are extremely funny, man. This is one of the favorite things I like to do is sit by y'all benches and just hear some of the things that you guys tell those kids, man. I need to do a whole season of just getting sound bites.
Mic us up.
Yeah, and putting you guys on a comedic reel, man. And I tell you, I bet that's $1 billion thing right there. So, hey, this is what we want to.
What you're doing right here is pretty neat, man. I love your thoughtfulness, just your ideas, and just your hunger and your passion for the state of Louisiana. It looks like you're doing more than basketball, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I try to cover all
sports. I just follow basketball for the most part, but I see you doing all type of balls. So, man, you're 24/7 OTB.
Hey, that's what we want to be, man. We want to be the resource and source for high school athletics in the state of Louisiana, and we're gonna just keep working till we get there. But this is what we brought you on to talk about, Coach. And this is a real serious issue because a lot of times you hear kids say, I'm underlooked or nobody values what I bring to the table. Talk to us a little bit about what you guys are looking for. What you guys are looking for when you guys are out on the recruiting trail and what you talk to your staff about what they need to be looking for.
My brother's a general manager of a AAA baseball team in Omaha, and he always tells me, work to earn what you think you deserve. And you just mentioned something about just people are out there looking for opportunities. There's more people looking than there actually are opportunities.
Right.
So you've got to separate yourself some way. And there are all types of different ways to do that for high school athletes that want to get to the next level. Sometimes you might separate yourself athletically by academically, maybe putting yourself in an upper echelon of having a higher ACT score, of being just, really good grade point average, because, that's the first thing that we are going to, before you can even get on our recruiting board, we're going to have a transcript on file and we're going to know your grades, your ACT score. Let me just go ahead and tell you the NAIA is going to look for 3 things to qualify you to play as a true freshman. The first one, you need to have a 18 ACT or a 2.0 GPA or top 50% of the class. You don't need all three. You need
Right.
two of those three. So that's just something going into the game academically. You freshmen and sophomores that may hear this, you guys are in the first and second quarter. You juniors and seniors, you are in the third and fourth quarter. So you kind of break it down into quarters, just like a ball game
Right.
is the academic years. So, after that, we're looking for, talent, of course. There's got to be some one thing, whether it's a pet move or whether it's just a niche. You've got to be able to do something on the court
Right.
to be able to go to the next level. It might be able to shoot with the best of them or be able to rebound, 10 plus a game. And then the second thing is just toughness. The talent first, toughness second. I'm speaking for LSUA. We want
Right.
tough players. And then, the third thing is just the teams. We're going to try to recruit Danny Broussard's players. We know those guys are winners, and we're going to go around the state of Louisiana. There's a lot of winning programs and successful coaches, and we want to pick from those programs. So kind of like the little 3T test, the talent, toughness, and the team that you're on. Do you guys win?
Right. How far around the country does you and your staff go looking for talent, toughness, and team?
Not very far. I'm going to walk in my locker room. I don't know if you can see this board. It's a boot. Can you picture it?
Yeah, I see it.
Our former players get to come back and sign this board like an alumni board. And, that's where we want to get our players. I'm from the top of the boot, Ruston. I went to school at LSU in Baton Rouge, spent a year at Xavier in New Orleans, and here we are in central Louisiana. So we feel we can go 2-3 hours max and get everybody that we need to in state.
I want to commend you for that, because I think that, and this is my personal opinion, and it's not, what I'm about to say isn't meant to offend any coaches, but I've said this for over 10 plus years now, and I'm going to continue to scream it to the rooftops. Louisiana has the best amateur athletes in the world. I don't care what sport it is. Give me some Louisiana guys. That's what I want. We have just that toughness and tenacity that's needed to be winners. And most of the time, we win everywhere we go. We're the reasoning behind winning, Louisiana kids. And so when you look at it, what's one of the reasons why you only recruit Louisiana? I think a good reason to, especially if you're a Louisiana school, a great reason to recruit Louisiana is because it'll help put butts in seats. Like, if you go and get a great guy, if you go get a Christian Landry from STM, he's the fan favorite in the Opelousas Lafayette area. That's 25 seats a night going to be filled just from one guy. What are you guys, what's your reason why?
Well, if you've come to a game in the Fort here, we're getting close to playing our 100th game in the Fort. I believe that'll happen next Thursday versus a team from Hobbs, New Mexico in our Red River Conference. But we've been able to have a pretty high winning percentage. And those players that we talk about, but you also mentioned fans. Like, we've got an unbelievable atmosphere. Pictures and videos sometimes don't do it justice, but if you can come to one of our 8 remaining home games this season, please do. But we live stream our games. But I mean, you hit the nail on the head. We want players want to play in front of filled gyms, and that's what we've been able to do at LSUA. Our fan base, what we've created now in 8 seasons. We're very close to having our 200th overall win as a program. That's outstanding for 8 seasons. So hopefully we can get to that in the month of January. But, we tell our guys, like yesterday before practice, it's about prayers and players, man. We got to continue to say our prayers and keep getting these players. I mean, that's the name of the game right there.
Well, and this is probably a two-sided question, Coach. And I always tell people on really tough questions, you can just say pass, and I understand what that means. What kids around the state are you looking at now to bring in for this 2022 class? Can you talk about that?
the NEI pool, I guess you can say, is it's going to be a little bit different than your Division I pool. On a given year, Holbert, how many Division I players does Louisiana have? 10 to 15 that signed? 20 max? I don't know.
Probably so. Probably
somewhere
so.
in there. But for NEI, I mean, I'm just going to talk about our coaches and programs in the state of Louisiana. And I don't want to leave anybody, from Shreveport up there to down there in New Orleans with Xavier and Loyola's number one in the country right now. And you got us right here. The brand of basketball, it doesn't have to be Division I. It's college basketball. And, sometimes people may look at it different. I know everybody wants to be – I'd have aspirations of being a Division I coach one day. And if good Lord says so, then so be it. If not, I can be happy here at LSUA for the remainder of my coaching career. But, we've got a lot of names on our board from across the state. And I don't want to get into one or two or four or five. I mean, it's probably 20-something names on that board.
Okay.
We prefer to go the high school route. If it comes down to a junior college player or transfer, there's a place for one or two of those in there. But we love to go get Will Claiborne from North Shore High School. That was I don't know if he was under recruited. He was not recruited. Chris Vickers from Salmon, Jordan Williams from Central, and Brian Sylvester from Breaux Bridge, and I could just go on and on and on. Even with our current guys, AJ Rainey played at HL Bourgeois, and Jakeem Abney at Simsboro, and Jason Perry played at Madison Preps on our roster, and Trent Colbert from Mansfield. Just those Louisiana names. I mean, we got Austin Adams is getting married in Austin, Texas. He played for Jay Carlin at Salmon years ago. How long you been doing this off the bench? Just curious.
This is closing out the end of year 5.
Okay.
Closing out the end of year 5.
We talk about season 1, 2. We're in season 8, so we kind of go in seasons and years. So maybe I'm going way back a little bit more, but I've been around and involved in youth athletics for a little over 25 years now. So I've got to see a lot of really great players. I have a lot of great memories from the top 28. I remember in what was it, 2007, 2008, I ruptured my Achilles. And at this time, the top 28 was at the Cajun Dome in Lafayette. And so I hurt myself February 13th. I have surgery February 14th, and it was like February 16th or 17th, I'm hobbling on crutches in the Cajun Dome. And it's a lot of great games that night. And as soon as I get ready to leave, it's a downpour of rain. Like I'm talking about like just crazy rain, and I'm hobbling back to the car. And by the, I'm fresh off the surgery, so I'm trying not to go too fast and as to where to slip and fall. But by the time I get back to the car, I am just every article of clothing I got on is soaking wet, and I have to ride all the way back to Gonzales in my underwear. That's a story to remember, man. Aren't those great to be able to go back on that?
Like I've been doing this a long time, man. I officiated high school basketball in Louisiana and Texas for a combined total of 17 years. So I've got, I got, where a lot of people didn't get to see Greg Monroe, I got to see Greg Monroe dominate in Louisiana high school basketball. And it was, right. I got to see Taz Mitchell dominate at Denham Springs. I've gotten to see a lot of great kids. And then I tell people all the time, it's two people that directly in my life and a part of my life that I got to see. One was before the three-point line. My brother Ricky Gibson played at Richwood High School in Richwood, Louisiana. He was the very best shooter that I ever seen in my life before the three-point line. And Richwood Gym was known as the Cracker Box. And that sucker would be packed when Carroll played Richwood, or Richwood played Carroll, or Wiseman, or whoever their big rivalries were. the gym is packed, like, and it really was only one side because the other side was so doggone small, like, and it was phenomenal atmosphere. And Ricky, Terry, Andre, all those dudes, man, they would be out there giving it all. They played against Casey Jones, who is now the head coach at Wiseman High School. I'm a young JV player, wishing I could get on the court. And Coach Herschel West, played in the NBA and was just a phenomenal coach. Was like, "Nah, son, you ain't ready for this. Go sit down." So it was just really cool, coach, man. I've been around this thing. I've been around this thing a long time, man, and it's nothing else that I'd rather do in my everyday life than try to help kids realize their greatness and potential. And for some kids, the thing that they don't get is that you don't have to be where your environment says that you have to be. You have choices. You have other opportunities. You just have to step outside of your box. And like Coach, like you just said earlier, Coach, step outside your box and don't be afraid to do your schoolwork. If you have questions, step outside your box and raise your hand and say, "Hey, Miss Jones or Mr. Jones or whoever your teachers are," and say, "I don't understand," so that you can get the appropriate help you need to pass these classes. And say, "I need help with my ACT." It's okay to do that. But a lot of times these kids are afraid that they're going to be ridiculed and criticized for saying, "I need help," for saying, "I don't want to be who my environment says that I have to be." And that's what we have to get kids to understand and realize, is that you're greater than your situation.
What I see and respect with you is it's bigger than basketball. I mean, it's a blessing that you and I get to do this for a livelihood, but
right.
It's not just that round ball. It's for the rest of your lives and their lives.
That's right.
Just trying to make an impact. So, I relate to you on that, and admiration for just, it's bigger than the wins. It's about memories and relationships, and those things are going to last.
Oh, let me tell you about I guess he's my best favorite player. Kid that played at East Ascension High School. I think you may know his name, Hobart Grayson IV. He is the very best basketball player I ever seen in my life.
Can we recruit him from Cord right up there at Northeast?
I'm going to tell you, like I tell everybody, I didn't tell him to go to Northeast. And I would never be the person to tell him to leave Northeast. That's a conversation you have to go with him. They're winning. He helped Cord win his 150th game in his 9th season at Northeast last night with a big win over Northwest. The game before that, man, they played one of their conference rivals. They bust the clock on him. He was the guy that hit points 100 and 101, I think. And so I got to witness that. But I want to tell you this, Coach, and then I'm gonna let you go, because I'm finna make a lot of people mad. As great as Fess Irvin was, and I didn't get to see him play, but I've heard a lot of wonderful stories. Chad Jacobs, Cedric Mackion, Dwayne Andrews, a lot of great players played at East Ascension High School. But they didn't have the overall skill set that Hobart Grayson IV had. And again, it's no slight against anyone that played at East Ascension. East Ascension, it's home to me. I've been there in this community so long. I love East Ascension High School. I do as much as I can for it, and I'll always love it 20 years from now if I'm alive. But I think my son is the very best player to ever play there. And I hope that one day that number 5 is retired at EA.
He's definitely a talent. We were looking at him out of high school, as you know, and I'm glad that he's healthy. That's the main thing, good health to him. And you say EA, I just want to say a quick, rest his soul, Jacardo Hawkins. That was a good player himself. And
he had a nice mid-range
players
game.
like that around the state that are no longer with us, but he was a good guy.
Yes, he was. I agree. I watched Jacardo grow up his whole life. And, we say this about kids a lot, that, sometimes oh, he needs to be a little tougher or he needs to do this. But if you're not around that kid, watching that kid and what he does every day and what he has to go through in his everyday home life, unless you're ready to bring your ass from the back of the bus to the front of the bus and say, okay, this is how you do this to get better or do this to get better. Let's not speak on kids like that. These are high school athletes. They don't get paid to play. Sometimes some of them can't even afford the shoes that they want to play in. So if you're not willing to step up into the front and be seen and give back, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I was really mad earlier this year when Zachary and Carver went to Dallas and played, and they played Duncanville. And yes, Zachary, Carver, they're the standard bearer these last couple of years. Madison Prep, Scotlandville, Port Allen, Rayville, Wiseman, Washita, Simsboro. Those guys have been the standard bearer here in the state of Louisiana. But the one thing that we don't grow is we don't grow 7-footers. We don't grow a lot of 6'9", 6'10" guys. So when you go across state lines and you have to compete against that, and the biggest guy you got is 6'5", you're supposed to lose.
It's different.
Right? It's different.
Yeah.
So don't criticize our kids. Not in front of me.
We've been fortunate to have some size. I spoke with Gilbert Talbot the other day he played down there at Ellender, and he was at Louisiana Tech for 2 years and finished with us for 2 years. He was just, 6'10". We've been able to have some really bigs here at LSUA, and that's why we've been one of the successful programs here in the state. You mentioned a lot of high school programs. We're just trying to stay up there with those other programs I mentioned earlier in the state. We got a lot of good basketball in the college ranks in Louisiana. I think it's because of the coaches in the high school ranks that do such a good job. And we're going to continue to recruit Louisiana, and hopefully we can get back with you off the bench again.
I'm looking forward to it.
I was an off the bench player myself at Ruston
Really?
High, so I can relate to that name.
Yeah, so this thing that I try to do here every day, it's always somebody that knows a Markel McClain at Peabody or a Rashawn McCullough at Huntington or a Joe Manning at Bossier, or Percy Daniels at Madison Prep, or Jalen Knox at Peabody, or a Solomon, Solomon at Carver, or Chris Lockett at Newman. Those names are always known. But what Off the Bench Sports, I think, has done is give the little guy, the schools that don't get kids' names out, we've tried to help those guys, and I think we've been very successful at it. And
that's what LSUA did. You speaking of a little guy, I mean, being at Southeastern Louisiana for 8 years and was looking for an opportunity, and LSUA started a program just like you're starting your company and just creating opportunities, and been thankful and blessed to have this one and run with it. So kids need opportunities, but then once they get it, that's when the work just begins and what you do with it.
Coach, I want to tell you this and take it just how I give it to you, okay? You're not the little guy anymore. When you win a Conference Coach of the Year and National Coach of the Year award once or twice, you're not the little guy anymore.
I've had some really good assistants, from Jay Smith at UNO to Casey.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Now. Brian Terwilliger at Northwood. I
Twig.
can go on and on. Kyle Thorne at Pineville now. Jimmy Winslow at Ash. I've got one in here working right now. Tyler Doyle from Pitkin came from us from Panola and Louisiana.
Let me see him again, Coach. I don't know if I know him.
Credit where credit is due to all these assistant coaches that we've been blessed to have.
Right. Shout out to my guy Jay Smith, man. He has a son that's going to be playing at Northside High School next year, and I was teasing with him. I was at Northside during a game one day, and we were teasing, just boogering around. And I told Lil Jay, I said, man, you can't score the ball, you can't shoot. Jay had
Jay.
just taken. I call him Jay. That's just me. He had just taken off his backpack, and like he literally had just walked in the gym. And I tell you, this kid takes off his backpack behind the 3-point line, bottom of the net, first shot. Like,
hey,
this
they're
kid's
coming
gonna
to
be
the
a player.
fort. You know, we call our gym at LSUA the Fort. They'll
I know,
be here
I
at
know,
12 o'clock. Coach James Ricks lined up a practice for them. They're going up to play Rayville,
yeah,
Delhi this
God,
weekend, and they're going
Right.
to stop by our gym and practice today. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see on Jay's.
I gotta
Jay's.
call Coach Herbstler. I'm in big trouble. I did what he asked me to do. I just didn't get a response. Coach Herbstler, I know you're probably watching. I'm so sorry. I slept since last night a little bit. I hardly ever
on this
sleep.
thing live that you helped me set up yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one of my
Let
managers.
me see
We're
the
getting ready for
SID.
practice. She
Hey, let
had,
me meet
she
the
had I call her my administrative assistant, had to help me get this lined up. I'm not the most technological savvy coach.
You sound like Danny Bruce all day.
Hey, man, you got a good heart. You know the technology stuff. Keep repping the boot and getting these kids opportunities, Hulbert.
No doubt, Coach. One love.
Yep.
Thank you. Hey, everyone.
Good health,
Larry
everybody.
Cadero.
God bless.
We hope that we help some of you guys understand what you need to do to become a college athlete. We absolutely love watching you guys play. So keep working hard. Get your butts in the classroom and raise your hand and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and then maybe one day you can have a scholarship offer and an opportunity to go play for Coach Cadero and LSUA and go be a member of the 14. So thank you, Coach Cadero, for joining Off the Bench Sports Prep News today. We hope to have you back soon, and you're welcome anytime.
Thank you. We'll do it again. After the season, we'll talk about our prospects camp that we'll have in April. We do it every year for guys that are out there looking for opportunities, that we've gotten a few of our players from those camps before. Just an opportunity once it all winds down and stuff. So we'll talk again.
No doubt, Coach. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yep.
Oh, man, that was great, man. I hope you guys learned some stuff. I hope that you learned as much as I learned, or even more than me, because I don't really need to know the ins and outs of how you guys get recruited, because I'm not going to be the one offering a scholarship, or I'm not going to be the one that gives you a scholarship. You have to be mindful also that if you do the work, the rest will happen. Don't be, and look, don't go into your freshman year of high school saying, oh, I'm a freshman, I got time. No, the time is right now. The time is right now for you to do your schoolwork. The time is right now for you to get in the gym, on the court, on the diamond, or whatever your sport of choice is, and do the work. And watch this. If you are a multiple sport athlete, that does not excuse you from skill development from every sport you play just because you're in season for one. If you're in season for one, then in your free time, you need to be working on skill set and development for the next sport that you play. It's no excuse for you not to get better when time is all you have. Time is all you have, and time is all you need. All right? So until we got another special guest lined up for you guys, man. And generally, we talk about our coach of the day. Generally, we talk about our coach of the day. But this time, we're going to do a little something different than we do. We do different stuff here. And we love being different. So we're until he gets in the back room in the studio, we're gonna go back and talk about a few more games. Again, today that's what we are. We're not doing any We're not doing any scores today. We're just talking about the great action that's going to happen across the state. And hopefully you guys will get out and go watch some high school sports in your area, be it soccer, boys and girls, basketball, or whatever you like to do. If you're an outside person and you like the cold weather, man, go watch the soccer game. Go watch it. Go check it out. It's cool like that. So, what was the last game I gave you? Let's check this one out, you guys. South Cameron goes on the road to Starks tonight. That's a 7 p.m. start time. St. Joe Placerville goes on the road to Falls River. That's also a 7 p.m. start time. Summerfield, Carl Malone's home school. See, we got greatness that comes from Louisiana. You just got to know your history. Don't be afraid to learn your history of education and athletics. We have a lot of influential people that are from Louisiana that killed academics and athletics. All right? Anacoco, this is Class B. Anacoco is at home versus Fairview. Converse goes on the road versus Negrete. Hey, if you're in the Alexandria area, you need to go and see this team. Country Day University Academy, they're home tonight versus Glenmora. That's a 7 p.m. start time. Country Day University Academy is a really good ball club, and they have some really good players. I got to see them in the Marchville Tigers Classic, and it was really cool. Y'all know if I put a smile this big on my face, that means something extraordinary is about to happen. Our coach of the day, again, we generally, for the boys and girls, we generally just post their picture, and they pre-sent me their bio and all their accolades, and I just talk about them. But on today, our special guest wanted to be in studio. He wanted to be here live with us, so let's bring him on, man. My guy. Welcome, Ty Russ, man. This is my guy, one of my favorite coaches ever. And I don't care who don't like this. He is the best assistant coach in the state. You couldn't ask for better. I'm sorry, Coach. I forgot you don't like all that. I'm sorry, man. I'm real excitable, though, Coach, so you can't hold it. You can't charge that to my head. You got to charge that one to my heart, man. What's up, Coach? You're the coach of the day.
Morning.
What's going on?
What's up, my dude? What's up? How we doing today?
I'm doing great now, man. I had Danny Broussard on early. We had connectivity issues, but we got to talk about a little stuff. Then we just had Coach Larry Cadero, LSUA General's on, and we talked about what they look for when they go out on the recruiting trail looking for student athletes. And he gave us those little nuggets of what LSUA looks for. And, we're just trying to help kids understand what it is they need to do.
Yeah.
And so now I can't even say this because you don't like all that stuff. You're just a guy that loves to get in the gym and work and let the results show for themselves. So I know that you're not going to give us everything, but, just give us a little stuff about Ty Russ.
Man, this is my 21st year coaching.
Wow.
Been blessed to be around some very good players that have made me look I really am as a coach. Been blessed to work with some really, really good people. And currently I am at an assistant role at over here at Zachary High School with Jonathan McClinton, great guy, working along with Ron Lewis, Morris Wright, and Tim Johnson. Ron Lewis people don't realize we go way back to the Louisiana Breeze days when we played together. And then you got some good young coaches on the staff. I think Morris Wright's going to be a really good high school coach. Jonathan's doing a great job of grooming him and preparing him for what takes place in this profession. And Tim Johnson, young guy, very energetic, and what's been good for me being in an assistant role is I'm getting to wear a hat that I hadn't worn in 12 years. And more of just filling in and making sure things that need to be done are done without without Jonathan having to ask. And he's done a great job of allowing me. I don't want to say he's done a great job, but I really appreciate him allowing me to come in and be a part of a already very successful program, defending 5A state champion program, and allow me to have a little influence. And you work with some guys, and again, I've been blessed to work with a lot of great guys, but I have worked with some that they don't allow their assistants to work. They don't allow their assistants to
have a voice.
And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't know that. Jonathan and I, we go way back. I remember when he first took over the job, I reached out to him, like I like to do with so many. I remember when Don Green, when I got my first job, and I called Don Green and I called Harvey Adger, reached out to Coach Charles Smith. And I remember, those guys took time out of their day to share and advise me on certain things and how to navigate the business. So when Jonathan took over, he didn't know me. I didn't really know him, but I just felt, let me get this guy a call to, see if he needs any guidance and assistance. But he was fortunate because he had worked with very good coach in Bakari Beckwith that was here at Zachary.
Monroe, Louisiana native.
Yes, man. Beck is, we bumped heads a couple times, and it was nice, fun, grimy wars, man. And Beck, a lot like myself, is a God-fearing man and no nonsense, and hope accountable and preach defense and toughness and accountability. So Jonathan and I, we had a relationship well before me coming on board with him. But again, I get here, man, and phenomenal staff. We get along. We respect each other. Nobody is worried about where they are in the pecking order because Coach McClinton made it very clear there is no pecking order. Certain guys, you need to do certain things, and that's your role. And it's been fun, man. It's been real fun. I've learned a lot. One thing about it, to anybody paying attention, young guy, older guy, when you stop learning, you stop growing. And it's a lot of stuff that during my time here working at Zachary, I look back and said, maybe I should have tried that when I was at New Iberia, or whatever holds for me in the future. I'm definitely going to take some of this stuff that I've learned from Coach McClinton, from Coach Lewis, from Coach Wright, Coach Johnson, man. Some days they walk up to me like, man, Coach, you're quiet. Now I'm observing. I'm making mental notes. So it's been good, man. Getting on here with my guy Hobart, and you've come a long ways from. I think 2 or 3 years ago we tried to do it and we had technical difficulties. So this sport is continue to provide a positive service for the state of Louisiana on both the girls and the guys side of basketball. But Hobart, you do a great job.
Go ahead, Coach. I'm about to fix that.
Yeah, you do a great job of not just covering basketball, but man, you're at track meets now, and
I did my first soccer game this year, man. That was amazing.
Think about that, man. You're doing soccer, man, and man, you're doing a phenomenal job with just giving our youth a platform. Louisiana is, not heavily recruited. You got to be,
Right.
It's funny, man, because I was on the other side of the phone, as I like to call it, and it's like we make our kids have to be above and beyond. And then
Right.
you look at some of these kids, and just based off the area or the program that they may come from out of state, they almost get a pass sometimes. And I'm not knocking any coach because, again, I was on the other side of the phone.
Right.
Coaches ask me why I'm not recruiting their guy. And it's a tough job, man. A lot of coaches don't understand, how tough of a job it is for college coaches. And,
Right.
I'm maybe bouncing a little bit, but hey, before I
No,
say,
you're good.
listen, all high school boys, girls, basketball coaches, your chance to nominate your player for the high school all-star game is coming to a close soon. So I've been told.
What's the deadline date, Coach? I'll post that right now.
I've been told it's the 18th of this month. I've been told two dates, but let's go with the 18th because it's the closest. And go to www.lhsca.org and get your kid.
I'm gonna get that posted.
Or you can go to the LHSBCA website, which I'm on right now, and you can navigate your way to that all-star nomination as well, man. But let's get it in, coaches. Do your part because you don't want to have your kid missing out on a great opportunity because
Right.
you didn't do your part, and then it's,
Right.
excuse me, kids upset, parents upset, coaches upset, because you didn't fill out the paperwork. And look, man, my number's public, so if you I don't have all the answers, but if you want to, reach out to me and if you got a question, nobody can answer. Nobody's trying to answer for you. 337-967-3180 is my cell. Now you call me on a block number, I'm not answering.
Hey, Coach, I know this is not supposed to be an interview, but you kind of opened the door a little bit, so I'm gonna walk through. I'm gonna push the door open and walk through because that's what I do on roll like that. And sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask permission. So you, as a head coach, you coached a lot of great kids. You've helped build and develop a lot of great kids. I told the story on my first show when I was talking about New Iberia, the kid, God dog it, what's the little boy name? Number 4.
Depending on what team we've had.
This year, he's there now.
Jordan Skinner.
Jordan Skinner. I remember Jordan Skinner coming in as a freshman, and you sent a gang of kids to the Off the Bench Sports development camp in Baton Rouge, and Jordan was one of those kids, and he was skinny as a toothpick, man. And I got to see New Iberia a few weeks ago, and
they're doing well.
Skinner is like, he's developed, he's solid. That's a part of you. You've helped a lot of kids, but how is it as an assistant getting to see guys like Jalen Bolden, Brandon Hardy, Jordan DeQueer, Mike Quiet, the kid number 3 from, God dang it, what's the little
Caleb Huggins.
Huggins. Yeah, Huggins.
Yeah.
And then you got a lot of young guys that are in weight. I like the little point guard number 3. I think his number is, and I like
2.
Number 2, and I like the wing number 15. Like, he's gonna be nice next year.
Yeah.
So you guys are chock full of talent over there. How is it though from this point? And like you say, you haven't done, that has nothing to do with your imprint, but how is it for you as an assistant to be able to watch those guys and give them little nuggets to help them be better in situations that they may have not encountered yet?
Well, I tell you what, man, again, that goes back to the staff I talked about earlier, man. Jonathan and Coach Lewis and Mo Wright, they spent a lot of time. And, Demario Jackson was a big part of these kids' growth. He's at Port Allen right now doing great things.
Yes.
It's just with those guys, this place is a little different, man. They have resources and access to that a lot of other programs don't have.
Right.
The kids, the level of commitment, and I'm not, I don't think it was greater than the kids' level of commitment at New Iberia, but the resources allowed them to be able to do certain things. And the coaches have maximized that, and the kids have embraced it. It's their work, man. It's one thing to work hard. Let me make sure I'm wording it right. These kids work just as hard, if not harder, than when I'm used to being around, and with more resources.
Right.
The success that this program is having didn't just happen. It's a huge commitment from the coaching staff, a huge commitment from the parents, and an even bigger commitment from the players. They really invested over here in being successful and investing in being the best. And you're right, there is a young group that, that's sitting in there waiting and competing against, Broderick is competing against JB every day, and Xavier competing against Brandon Hardy every day, and Kyrie's going against Mike Wyatt every day in zigzag. And that makes a big difference, man, because there's a level and a standard that's been placed here at Zachary that no one wants to be the one that lets it down.
Right.
And that shows every day in practice. And, that forces, the days Jordan may not want to bring it. There's a freshman that I think gonna have a chance to be really good, and Xavier Ferguson that's nipping at his heels. And then once Xavier think he's ready, and JB puts him in his place, or Brandon puts him in his place. So, competition and hard work is something that they do not shy away from here at Zachary. And again, man, for me, this thing is already set. They are who they are without me.
Right.
You
said that. You said that from the beginning. I know when we initially talked, that was the one thing that you expressly said to me, that was Zachary was who they were long before you ever thought about, getting an opportunity there.
Yeah. And look,
and that's humbleness.
Well, here's the deal too. And I'm not letting you open this can, because I'm telling you now. So I don't know who's listening, who's viewing, but Todd Russ ended up at Zachary because Todd Russ was no longer going to be at New Iberia.
Right.
Not fired.
That's right.
It was.
That's right.
It's a peace of mind that I was looking for, and I will tell people, I applied for some jobs that I did not get.
Right.
This was one, however, under the circumstances, I technically did not apply for, and Jonathan welcomed me because he was looking to fill a huge void left by Demario Jackson. I was looking for a place to find a peace of mind, and that's how that happened. Now, just like I opened that can, Hobart, I'm closing it. Okay.
Right, and I'm perfectly fine with that, Coach.
So it's been good, man. It's been good to, in an assistant role where, you're not wearing as many hats. In an assistant role where there is a staff in place, a full-time staff in place. And in the beginning, man, I'm running around like there ain't nothing to do. Like, what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah,
Because you come from a place where you do everything.
right.
You're a one-man band, literally, and not figuratively. Literally, you were a one-man band.
Right.
And
I know I was there for a few of those things.
man, I get here and there's somebody
It's help
collecting.
everywhere.
I get here and I don't have to work the concession stand for the JV freshman game.
Yeah,
I get here and I don't have to put the scout report together and put the weight workout together. And man, I'm looking around like, God, dog, it's different. It's different,
hey,
and
man,
they have a system in place, and it obviously it works. It's working. It's really working, and that's a compliment to Jonathan, but also a compliment to Ron Lewis was a former head coach.
right.
That's
Central Baton Rouge.
and Catholic High Point Capee. People
Right.
realize that. Very knowledgeable guy. Morris Wright played here and played in college, and been on Jonathan's staff for I think 6 years. So they have something that was already in place. My deal was always reminding myself, man, don't you go over there and screw that thing up, man.
Not you, bro. Not you, bro. Anybody but you.
So it's been a joy though, man. It's been a relief. I feel recharged. I feel revived. You're with great kids, and the other part of it is, we've been playing each other every year. So
Yeah.
in Jalen Bowden from his freshman year, I watched Jordan DeQueer from his freshman year.
Right.
So to those guys, and Brandon Hardy, to those guys, I was already a familiar person in a sense. We played each other so much. And again, with Jonathan, we would communicate weekly before, in the past. And even with, Tyler Brown, who's been a huge addition to this program, transfer from Baker, quiet kid, but great kid, joy to coach, joy to be around. Caleb Huggins, they played for, my high school teammate in James Holmes.
James Holmes, yeah.
And so they knew who Todd Russ was because of my relationship with James Holmes. So it kind of all worked out in the sense to where it was an easy transition for me, coming into a program that's already established, already successful, already sitting at the top of the food chain. Young coach, energetic, very knowledgeable, great staff. So,
man, it's for me, it's really amazing. I know, and I've expressed this to you several times this year. You and I, we have a great relationship.
Yes.
You've always been a big supporter of Off the Bench Sports.
Yes.
At New Iberia, and even now at Zachary. It's always been, Ty Russ has always been just a phone call away, no matter what I needed. Like y'all don't know this, but I called Ty Russ like a month ago, and I was just going through some stuff, and I needed to talk to him directly. I talked to two people, him and Kenny Sykes, and it wasn't, man, I'm gonna get back with you when I got time. It was, hey, as soon as I get done with practice, I'm calling you. And that's what he did, period.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me the advice and instructions that I needed to get through that situation. Also, Coach John McClinton, since day one, John McClinton has been a big supporter of what I'm trying to do and build here. And it's not one time that I've called Coach Mack that he hasn't answered, or if he didn't answer, he's always called me back. I wake up this morning and guess who I got a text from? John McClinton. Mm-hmm. And guess what? I called him, he answered on the first ring. I don't know if he had his phone in his hand or not, because I was not there. But, these guys, I love them. I love them for their support. I love them because they are setting standards. They are the standard. If you don't know that this guy on this screen with me is a winner, that's your loss. And you know, he said this earlier, and I'm not trying to open that door, but he's not a head coach because he chose not to be. He can go anywhere he wants to. That's how deep his resume is. You got that Nelly country grammar song, huh? I'm number what does it take to be number one? All you gotta do is be Ty Russ, baby. Be Ty Russ.
Nah, man. I tell you what, man. I'm just a dude that's been blessed, and the game of basketball has given myself and my family so much. And I'm glad to see I'm no longer who I once was.
Right.
Basketball is a big part of that. Through my faith in God and my lovely wife, Winona, who supports me through and through. And that's another thing, guys. I don't know if you got any young coaches, watching this, or even older coaches. You better make sure you get you one. If you're coming in this game, get you one who understands the grind and the level of commitment it's going to take to be successful. And I'm fortunate to have a wife that supports me.
Hey, coach. I don't like interrupting people,
What's
but
up?
I gotta put something on the screen, and it's for you. All right. Can you see that?
As a high school coach, what is your greatest achievement? Well, I really feel like it's the players. It's when I get a kid that's asking me, that has a daughter, and he's teaching her how to ride a bike, and he calls me and asks me for advice on teaching his daughter how to ride a bike. I've had former players hit me up and say, Coach, I think I got the one. I want to propose. How do I propose? And I'm like, this is what I've done. So my greatest achievement as a coach is not in between the lines. Is the influence in the relationships that you build that carries throughout life. It's not like they don't get it. It's a lot of kids, man, who wasn't able to play for Coach Russ because it was so demanding and so challenging. But I wanted to prepare them for life. I wanted to prepare them for when the ball stopped bouncing. And,
right.
When you have a kid comes back, and I remember I had this kid, Jeffrey, I won't call his last name. And Jeffrey was, guys, I'm telling you, he couldn't play the radio. Great kid, though, worked hard. And he goes and he working at UPS. And I didn't know this. Jeffrey didn't share this with me. It was shared with me by someone else who worked at UPS. And Jeffrey said, man, y'all lazy because y'all don't work hard enough. Y'all not Russ tough. This is the guy telling cats that they're lazy because they're complaining about loading up boxes. Now,
right.
This wasn't an all-district guy. This wasn't a starter. This was
right.
Play, but he stayed with us for 3 years, committed to the program, did his role, but he went out to UPS and he's still bragging about his days of playing and being a part of our program that we had established at Niche at the time. Right. So it's about the kids. It's about investing in them. And it may sound cliche-ish, but when I get former college players reaching out to me years later, I hadn't coached college in 13 years. And I still hear from Alexander Starr. He got his master's and he texted me and said, my guy, I got it. I'm done. I hear from Tyrone Hamilton, who's working up there in Shreveport, developing players. Ty played for me at Centenary, and with the business he's doing with his hard work.
Brother of high school coach Eddie Hamilton.
Eddie Hamilton and I, through my relationship of working with Tyrone and working at Centenary, Eddie Hamilton and I didn't know each other prior to that. And like, he had a huge win, comeback win against Halton. And you know what?
Right.
He's texting me and look, big bro, look what I did. And I cheer, what I'm saying? I cheer for Eddie. We both in the same classification. And I cheer for him.
Yeah.
So my biggest achievement is just connecting with people, having an impact on our youth in a positive manner. Because I tell them all the time, I'm not this guy at today that I was at your age. And in that process, I know we have to be patient because many times as coaches, we want kids to be our age and our maturity level and
Right.
and you forget
That's not how it works.
what you were doing because it was no social media, it was no camera phones, so coach didn't catch everything. So we got that's, I guess, so to answer a question, it's just seeing people that I've come in contact with, whether it be players, coaches, hoping that the time I spent with them was uplifting and made their situation better.
Hey man, the people that really know me know I'm just a big ass softy. When I hear stories like that, like it just really makes my heart full because people only see the Ty Russ that was on the sidelines.
That's a crazy.
That says, "Oh, get over there and sit down," or "You didn't do this right," or they see you on the video because you were a coach that you were you were very transparent. Like you show your weight room workouts, you show y'all doing conditioning at the track. You showed y'all doing drilling in the gym, like, and so people see the guy that's so demanding, but then they never get to see the softer side of who you are as a real life person. And that, for me, man, I was just like, I really had to just catch myself because I was getting choked up. Like,
listen, man, so I again, I'm learning, man. I'm experienced, but I'm also learning. And I would hear all the time, look how you talk to him. Look at this. He don't allow that. But what people don't realize is, like, if you went to those kids, and try to, again, want to be careful with my words, try to undermine what we were doing, they will stop you. Right. Because again, you're capturing that moment, but you're not following the process and
the in-depth of what happened.
This guy I follow on Twitter, and he's in the education profession, relationship before rigors, and I interpret that as you have to show people that you care.
Right.
You have to show people that I'm not using you to get to an end goal, my end goal. I'm preparing you for something bigger than what you can see now. And so in that process, you have to develop a relationship of trust and love, because the kids that I've coached know that I care for them. I love them. I want to see them do well. And sometimes the way it comes across may be harsh, but it's real. But because of the relationship you have, they're able to digest it and move past the moment. Now, the person that's not in the gym with us for an hour and a half to 2 hours, the person that's not at the team barbecue or team crawfish boil, the person that's not at the team event when we go to different games and different venues, they're only seeing a 32-minute window. A high school game, about an hour. They're only seeing that part. And they're reacting to something that the player forgot once he went back out on the floor, because he knows why Coach Russ is chewing him out. He knows why Coach Russ is challenging him in a certain way. He knows why coaches, and it's not just me, but we know when a kid can do more than what they're doing. We know when a kid can give more than what they're giving. And I would always express to my players, when I'm not pushing you to be your best, I'm cheating you.
That's right.
And anyone that's not challenging someone to be the best, if you're in a marriage, if you're on a job, if you're in community service, whatever it may be, if you're in a relationship or partnership with someone and you're not willing to challenge them to be better than what they are, you are cheating them. And so, and everybody expresses it different. I'm watching last night, Butler in Georgetown, the young man at Butler, I can't think of the head coach's name. His way of communicating with his players is phenomenal. Doesn't raise his voice, doesn't curse, just a phenomenal way.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's only one way.
Right.
And I'm not saying the guy that may read, or the guy that may curse, or the guy who it is the relationship. And many times people comment on a situation where they don't know the full story, to understand the relationship behind why you can raise your voice sometimes, and sometimes you don't. Nobody ever, coach puts his arm around them, but everybody want to chatter about when, man, I can't believe he said that to that kid.
Right.
Well, you didn't see the previous times, and come on, man, you can do better. Hey, man, let's do this. But when it's, hey, let's.
Hey, it's hey, Coach. Man, look like I got a guest in studio on the backstage. Man, hey, we were supposed to do a coach's spotlight on Ty Russ, and man, it turned out to be a full-fledged interview. But
Listen,
man,
I look, the real boss is calling. I have a 11 appointment with her.
Tell Miss Winona I said hi.
I will do. It was a joy to chop it up with you.
Always.
And I wish you nothing but the best, and continue doing what you're doing. There's peaks and valleys with everything, man. And
I'm in this for the long haul, though, Coach. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. But I tell you what, one thing about it, you're heading in the right direction, and we need it.
Coach.
The state of Louisiana needs Hobart Grayson to continue doing what he's doing. And I'm gonna leave you with this, and I'm hitting the leave button because I see it.
Yeah.
He's to also support Hobart Grayson and what he's doing. Later, love you.
Thank you, Coach. Hey, wow. Hey, we want to thank Coach Ty Russ. I almost say head coach Ty Russ because that's just what I'm so used to saying. But he's an assistant coach at Zachary High School, where the Broncos dwell. Their mantra is grit. GRIT, grit. And you got to be ready when you go there because they go to war. Hey, this guy that I'm about to bring in next, he's more of a friend. He was on the AAU circuit. I think he was an assistant coach at Capital High School, but he's a friend of mine that I love and adore dearly. And I'm about to bring him in, and this is just a conversation. So y'all don't, if you just stay and join. And I'm gonna give him a great introduction because that's what he deserves. And so let's bring him in. Hey there.
What to say, bro, Grayson?
What to say, my guy? What to say? How you doing?
It was hard,
everyone.
hard for me to get on there, but I got on there.
You got on there. All right, that's all that matters. So, hey, everyone, let me please welcome you guys to someone. He's probably a genius. But if you don't talk to him and get to know him, you'll say, oh, man, that guy there is just crazy. But no, he's a genius because he did something in the state of Louisiana that back in the day when it was being done, people told him the same thing that they told me about my son. Oh, you're crazy. You're too hard on this person, or that isn't gonna work. Well, he only created the greatest female high school player in the history of the state of Louisiana. She went on to be the greatest female basketball player ever at Louisiana State University, Lady Tigers basketball. Then she only went on to be a 4-time MVP, world champion for the WNBA Minnesota Lynx. Please welcome girl dad, Mr. Seymour Augustus, father of world champion Simone Augustus. What's up, my guy?
You got it, brother. How you doing this morning?
Oh man, I'm great, man. It's been a really great show today. I got a little choked up. I'm not gonna even lie, man. I had a tear or two coming out of my eye. Just talking to Coach Ty Russ, man. We have such a great relationship, such a great friendship, and you know, sometimes things just hit you different when you go through it. And so he's a guy, you know, just like you, a guy that I call friend. What's up, man? How you doing? So look, this is what I want to talk to you about. This is what I want to talk to you about first.
Talk to me about it.
This is what I want to talk to you. I want to ask you.
Before you ask me now, before you ask me any questions.
I know you're gonna come. Well, come up, come out.
No, anybody got a sensitive stomach, please get off, because I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Hey, and please, if you cannot take the raw, unadulterated truth, this is probably gonna be a show. And I generally mark all my shows rated for kids to watch, but I'm probably gonna have to mark this one.
No, you don't.
Kids.
No, you're not. It's gonna be all right.
It's gonna. It's not gonna be all right if you beat anybody but Seymour Augustus.
Oh, you ain't gotta worry about that. You either with me or against it. Don't matter. I'm still here.
So, what were some of the things that you did with Simone as a young kid to help her get a better understanding in IQ? Because to be truly better than your opponent, you have to have it up here. What were some of the things that you guys did to help her get an IQ early as a young athlete?
Well, Mr. Grayson, this is the downfall right now with Louisiana girls basketball. A lot of people goes out and they see kids, and not saying they kids not good, they cannot play. I'm not saying that. But you always got to keep them kids humble and tell them, you good in the state of Louisiana. You are great. You the best. But you hadn't ran up to better yet. In order for to run into better, you got to leave Louisiana, go big places, play big time schools and everything to grow. And at the same token, you have to keep these kids humble. When they walk in the gym, they got their slippers on and they hard and mighty. No, you human. You just blessed a little bit better than other athletes, a little bit more talent. But you got to keep these kids humble. If you don't, they're going to lose all the way around. Because if you're not open to learn, you're not going to learn. Because your head is bigger than your pants. You got to stay open.
I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
Well,
I know this. Again, it's you know, when I'm about to tell a little piece of you, and it's, you know, it's just what it is. You know, you're from the Capital High School area. I can't remember the name of the area you say you're from.
Parktown. Yeah, hold on. Let me go get you one of Simone hat. Give me 1 second.
All right. So his daughter Simone Augustus just started her own clothing line,
Yeah,
I,
it's some of the hat right here.
bring it the other way, Mr. Augustus.
Hey,
We can't see it on the screen. Still not on the
oh,
screen.
there
It's
you
on
go.
your face. Yeah, that's it
Okay.
right there.
You see it now?
Mark time. Yeah, I see it now. That's a nice white, man. That's a nice white. You got one of them for me? Uh-oh, we might have lost him. Mr. Seymour. I
It's
like
on my head.
that.
It's coming for you. Didn't lose.
Oh yeah,
You still up, Ray?
yeah, I'm here. You kind of cut out a little bit, Mr. Seymour.
Well, I'm in the woods back here, so we're gonna do that from time to time.
Right. You got one of those for me?
I always got something for you, brother. Just a matter of me seeing you, because we keep crossing paths. You come to
Yeah.
Baton Rouge and go to the radio station, talk to my godchild, well, don't call me.
Oh man, you really called me out about that on live on air?
Yeah. So fit to life.
That's right. That's right. And I ain't, hey, anything else, I'd be wondering if Miss Kim don't clone you back there.
Well, you leave her, let that dead dog lie, because she rougher than a barracuda.
Hey, Miss Kim.
Let her rest back there. But on the home front of good girls basketball, Brother Grayson, I always wanted to say this, man. Girls basketball, when me and Jack Harrell were one of the first two guys started our own first black AAU team. It was not no girls black AAU team from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. I can't say about Shreveport or all of that, but me and Mr. Jack Harrell was the only two started a AAU girls team, all black. And we was poured in beeswax. Nobody want sponsors, wouldn't give us no money, no nothing. And I say, you know what? I referee. And my wife today still mad at me. And Jack had his little job. We put our money together and we had them girls traveling. And that's what we did. And it used to be fun. When you go to an AAU game now, and I'm not pouring cold water because I know economy got to go up, but you charging $25, $20 to get in the game. And my mindset is, here's a lady, single mom with 5 children. You charging them $20 each to get in the game. They can't afford it.
Right.
And then when one of the little kids told me they have to pay $1,500 to play AAU basketball, and I say that's unheard of, because
Right.
Simone, Carla Joe, the two twins, Angel Curry, and all them gave, and Brittany Murray, all them gave me $110. And we went to the same hotel, same places that they went to. And they all had these fancy gym. You know we practice at? What we call the hot box, Gushon. We don't have no air conditioning over there. We sweated, we had pain, we went through it, and we made it out of there.
Right,
So
right.
I want people to stop focusing on money, especially my people, and go back to focus on what the real world is. I could give you $100 million right now, but if you ain't mentally stable and sensible enough to manage that money and know what to do with it, you're going to lose it.
Right.
So let's get back to the basics and say, you know what? I want the education. Yeah, you could get the money now because it's legally you could get money. When Simone was at LSU, if I'd have took a bubble gun, she'd have been disqualified. Now they pay the kid.
Right.
You know, now they pay the kid. You know, when Simone went to LSU, they had rumors. LSU bought her a car. They did this. I worked for the local newspaper company. When Simone signed with LSU, 20 years on their job, they put me off for days on night. Do that look like I got a favor? Do that look like Mr. Seymour got a favor?
Right, Mr. Seymour. So by Simone's junior year, she was one of the most touted female athletes in the state. You know, you had coaches from all over the country, you know, coming to see her play at Capitol. What were some of the things that you guys talked about, you know, how to keep her humbled and not get bigger than the game, especially for a school like, you know, Capitol in Baton Rouge?
First of all, I moved out of a good area to Capital so that she could represent the neighborhood where I grew up at was a bad neighborhood, and we need a positive environment. Let me get that straight first. And one day
Okay.
when you come to Baton Rouge, I'm gonna take you, let you see this house I moved into. Didn't have no floors in it for her to go to
Right.
Capital as representation. That's one of the things. And number two, I said, if I'm gonna make this sacrifice for you, Simone Augusta, when you get there, I don't need a jackass. I need you to go there and get some education. They say ain't no
Right.
education there. Teachers are like this. If they see you want it, they're gonna help you. But if they
Right.
see you a clown, they're gonna treat you like a clown. And I
Right.
say, be humble. When people come to you and ask you for autographs or anything, you do it because you don't know what they're going through, who they are, and what they are. Because people can walk up you filthy dirty and look like nothing, but you don't know who they are. So always stay humble. And your
Right.
last always keep a smile because your last basketball game is gonna be the last thing they remember. So if you had a
Right.
bad attitude, they're gonna remember that.
Hey, it's funny that you said that because this morning I just made a post and I want to I want and I wrote the post, so I should remember what it says, but I want to read it verbatim, word for word. And this is like we didn't talk this morning or nothing. So this it says work to get to win the win today and tomorrow. Winning today but not winning tomorrow equals 2 losses because tomorrow's loss could be your last game, and you can never get your last game back.
For sure. When that buzzer go out that last second, you shot a half ball 30 years from now, you could be sitting under a tree drinking wine. They're gonna say, I remember that wine he missed that last shot.
Right, right, absolutely, absolutely,
And that's life, man.
absolutely.
And these are some of the things we need to go back to. And one of the things, I'm old school. I ain't gonna tell you my age, but I'm up there. One of the things that get on my nerves is I see these kids sitting on the bench these days, and they not really good athletes. So they feel they could disrespect their team by sitting on the bench, texting and eating popcorn. They play for me. I've been slapped the popcorn out their hand, the telephone, everything. Because you never know when I have to put you in the game. You sitting over there texting and eating popcorn. I've been
Right,
fired. Get off my team. And some of these coaches need to get more discipline back into their system. And
right, right,
me and my wife, we world travel when it comes to girls basketball. You
right,
ought to see us anywhere, Mississippi, New York, California, anywhere. She might wake up in the morning and say, baby, I read in the newspaper they got a girl playing in Timbuktu. I say, let's crank up the doodle and let's go to Timbuktu. And that's it. And she loved basketball, and I love her for it because through thick and thin, that's what she stuck with me through is basketball. And she know the game of basketball.
right,
And me
right.
and her be sitting in the stand and we watch some of these kids and stuff. And like my daughter, she had got a bunch of offers for high school. Say, oh no, I'm too much like my daddy. My nerve been got bad and I've been got bad. So no, I'm gonna stay up on the professional level. I won't have to deal with that.
Right,
And it got to change, and then quit sending your kids all over town talking about this coach better than the other coach and that. First of all, you want to run to a place got good talent because if your kid is good, they're gonna make that team. If your
right,
kid is not good, you're gonna be hopping and running all your life trying to find a team fit suitable for them, and it's not gonna
right.
be suitable. Put the work in. Put the
Do
phone
the
down.
work.
Daddies, quit trying to put all the work in your son and work with your daughters. Because I got friends that got daughters. They always bragging on their son. And their daughters coming to me and say, Uncle Seymour, would you help me? No problem. How much you going to charge me? I ain't charging nothing. God got me. I get blessed every day.
Right, right.
You know,
Mr. Simo, I got to put a couple of things on the screen. One is the compliment. The other one
thank
is the
you.
question. So we're going to put the compliment up first. And it says, definitely a genius for what he did with his daughter. It opened the door for girls basketball in Baton Rouge. And that's from Mark M. Young.
Well,
Um,
it's more of a blessing, Grayson. And I want some of these guys to understand they got blessings in their hands And they got the torch. So I'm not gonna call no names or nothing. You know who you are. That got the daughters. That got the limelight.
Right.
Use that limelight to be mentors and not selfish and all about me.
Right.
When you bring your child on, bring somebody else's child along with them. Because
Absolutely.
when I went out there and Simone was there, Coach Stewart and all of them tell you, we bought the whole team along. Each and every one of them got scholarship to a university. And they
Right.
all got college degrees because when they played AAU for me, even though in the summer I made them read and get the books. And I wanted to see your grades. I wanted to
Right.
see it. The high school coach ain't had to do them. Coach Seymour AAU made you do it. And all of them got college degrees. And even guys today play football for me, Grayson. I'm not patting my back and I'm not trying to be cocky. But some of the guys were hard here to play football for me. And I used to always get on them. So one day I was walking down the street on 3rd Street of Baton Rouge, and one of the guys said, hey, Coach Seymour. He said, I said, boy, who this is? He had Louisiana State Penitentiary outfit on. He's in Angola 74 years. He asked the security guard, can he take me? The security guard said, yeah. I say, Lorenzo, what you doing here, man? He said, man, I messed up, coach. I wish I let you. This boy could have been one of the greatest running backs ever, linebacker, whatever he wanted to do. But he lost his way once he quit dealing with me with sport.
Right.
And I'm telling you, bring people with you. Everybody on your shoulder ain't for you now. Don't get it twisted. Some of them gonna
Right.
be under you hating on you, but that same thing, give them the guard and keep working with them because they jackasses anyway.
Right. Right. So this next thing I'm gonna put up on the screen is a question. I'm gonna read it to you, Mr. Seymour, and it's from Chad Wilson, and he says, "What do we need to do to get the quality of girls basketball better in the state?"
Quit splitting up these AAU teams. Everybody got a child that's halfway decent start an AAU team. That's crazy. You don't catch that in California. You don't catch that in Texas. You catch them combining all their top girls and boys on one team. They might have
Right.
an A team and a B team, but they're gonna keep them together. I see
Right.
parents would drive from Baton Rouge and go to New Orleans, and then they don't understand the concept of leaving Baton Rouge, going to play on an AAU team in New York, New Orleans, or Mississippi. And like I told Bucky Richards with Kenner Angels, I said, why would I bring Simone to play with Kenner, and we got AAU with a daddy in Baton Rouge, and when we get ready to go play y'all in high school like Xavier Prep and all them schools, we're gonna play against you, and you're gonna know her weakness to use against me to beat me for the state championship. I
Right.
don't show no mercy. Bring your girl to Baton Rouge to play for us.
Right. Right.
You know, that's just my thought. And these charter schools really running.
Artadius Brad said, "That's so true to what you were just speaking about." And so again, for me, I only met you 5 years ago when I started my company, and you said, "Look here, you little black bald head little boy, you better not quit at this because we need it." And we exchanged numbers, and I talked to him so much that it's like him and Miss Kim have adopted me as their child, and so that makes me feel really good that they don't he can be doing anything in the world he wanted to do right now. He's retired. Miss Kim is retired. He had a fishing pond in his backyard that he could be out there catching. What's some things y'all catch? Sacalades? He can be out there fishing right now. It's pretty warm in Louisiana today. And so I'm just grateful that he took time to come on to Prep News so that he could give, not just kids insight, but parents and fans alike on what we need to do to try to cohesively be better. Because again, he took a little girl from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who nobody knew, and he did things the right way, and he raised her to do things the right way. And again, she's got so many awards and accolades. Hell, it would probably take 10 minutes for me to read them all.
Yeah. But Grayson, this is another thing I like to say before I sign off because I got to go through some 100 dudes. But I want people to realize, yes, you go out to some of the big games for the boys and some of the big games for the girls. And I want some of the other parents to understand by you being there broadcasting for them, as me being a friend of a junior college coach, we sitting in the stands, yeah, the girl that's the superstar, we know we might not get her, but hey, we came to this game, we saw this little girl here that's half decent.
Right.
Black people, quit dishing junior colleges talking about, I don't want my child to go no junior college. I don't want them to go no BRC. Let me tell you something. 2 year, 1 year, half year free is free. If you ain't got it in your pocket, you go over there and get it. You take them 2 and beg for the other 2, you got 4. You don't have to get 4 all the time. Roll the dice.
That's
That's
right.
all I'm saying. Black folk, quit down in junior college and then sending your kids way to Mississippi, way to Texas. You got a junior college here, could be great. If year 4 last, if we took 3 of the 5 girls, didn't have the grades, went to a junior college, would have came to BRCC, we'll have a junior college championship right there at Baton Rouge Community College. And that's what I'm saying. Build your city. Build your school by staying home.
Right.
Build it. If you know your kids ain't got the grade, don't be ashamed because somebody, you at BRCC, you're selling dope. Get the hell out of my face.
Oh my Lord. That's why, hey, that Mr. Seymour, you are
Don't play
phenomenal.
with me because my child in junior college.
You are a phenomenal man who, you know, again, what you did with your child and other young ladies who grew up having the same dreams as your child, you know, it was a phenomenal work. And again, we want to acknowledge Coach Jack Harrell, who,
Yes. One of the few black men that started AU here.
well, not only that, but Coach Harrell is still active in girls' high school sports. Not just in Baton Rouge, but
all over.
Right, all over the state of Louisiana. Mr. Seymour may not be active as far as training kids and doing skill development, but he still goes all over the state to find out about who kids are. And so those guys are pillars. They are the reason why some of your kids get to do what they do today. And I'm, you know, again, Mr. Seymour, I told you this publicly, and you shouldn't tell anyone anything privately that you can't tell them or will not tell them publicly. Thank you so much for all that you've done for girls prep basketball, for girls AAU basketball here in the state of Louisiana. From A to Z, you know, I'm grateful for you.
Well, Grayson, it's not over. We're gonna get back in the saddle, but there's some things we got to get straight, and we can make it bigger, better, and greater. Girls basketball here in the state of Louisiana. It's just some stumbling blocks in our way. The reason we not in it in depth like we want to be, but we're gonna get there. When we do, people gonna say why this hadn't been happening. Because on the other team, you have people against you over there backwatching you because of who you are, trying to make it great for other people's kids. I don't have no more kids, but I'm willing to see other people's kids get there. And I don't want no money from you. I don't need it. I get my blessing through God. I don't need your money. I want to see the kids make it.
Mr. Seymour, or Tadius Brass said for me to tell you that you are welcome to come to Monroe, Louisiana, and check out the Wiseman Wildcats and Wiseman Lady Cats any day that they got games, and they'll welcome you.
Well, I don't know, cause last time we played in Monroe up there, when Simone played, we had to run out the back door and run down the side road because they were so bad they were whooping up on the window pin. We beat the game, but they whooped us out of there. I don't. There was the days though. Nah, all jokes aside, it did happen.
That used to happen in the Shreveport area a lot too back
Yeah.
in the G.
We
You
played
couldn't-
Carol High with they whooped old people and all because we beat them out of it. Man, y'all leave them old people alone.
hey, you if you went to Shreveport and it was a big game and they lost the game, they might have lost the game, but you was gonna lose the war after the game. I still like, talking to some when I go home to Monroe, Louisiana, talking to some of those old guys and we reminisce on those stories. Man, it just I still double over in laughter, man. It'd be so funny. Man, that's just amazing. We want to thank Mr. Seymour Augustus, but even more so than thanking Mr. Seymour Augustus, we have to thank Miss Kim Augustus, because if not for her, he wouldn't be able to be here because he knows absolutely nothing about getting online.
Nothing. But also, I want to remind everybody, please support your local schools, Southern, LSU, Southeastern. You go in and the coaches see your face and you might have a child play basketball. Say, hey, your child play basketball? Say, oh, yeah. They come check them out. You might get lucky. Quit sitting on the couch and go support them. Go Southern got a good girls team, man.
Yeah.
LSU
Coach
doing it, right?
Carlo
And you got a
doing
game.
a great job over there.
Yeah, and they got a game Sunday at LSU, 12 o'clock, play Vanderbilt. You ain't doing nothing after church. Just go on down there and watch the game. Ticket ain't nothing but $5 to set up.
Hey, can you give me one of them? Can you give me a $21 ticket, Coach?
Well, I'll get you Flo. See you with me.
Oh, I'm free. I want to go see them play Vanderbilt Sunday. What time the game is?
Oh, well, you're talking about Sunday, huh?
Yeah, man, I need a ticket for Sunday.
Coach, you'll have to go in with me, Coach. But
I'm willing to do that as well. Just let me know what time to be at your house for breakfast.
Now you're pushing it, even though you're my buddy. Because I got to go back here and work on a line ball and do some other stuff. You talking about some Sunday basketball.
I love basketball. That's why I love. So this is what people don't know, and I said this a couple years ago. I had never really paid attention to high school baseball, but I've always had a great love for football, basketball, and I was covering baseball a couple years ago and watching a pitcher from university. It was just phenomenal, the control he had on that baseball. And all that stuff, and I covered my first soccer game ever this year. I love high school sports, and I can't say enough how much it means to me to be able to do this every day, even though I don't make money from it. So,
right. Well, I'm finna get off, but I want people to know because he's doing more than what y'all. Podcasting games from all over the great state of Louisiana. I asked him one time, Grace, man, you wake up in Monroe and then you back down here. It takes a lot of courage.
You fade now, Mr. Seymour.
We couldn't get the money like they could get now. I had to get that Auburn, Alabama, Fayetteville, Arkansas, back to Mississippi State all in 1 week. Now, 8-9 station wagon to make it happen and remind me of the podcast. That's
Right.
200 miles or more.
Right.
Patronize you more.
Right.
You feel great. Some of these big companies need to add you on. So LHS cut out the pool and say, hey, we can't cover all sports. Let's hire him as a freelance. Get it done. Because
Right,
these
right.
kids need it to stay to Louisiana.
They
They
definitely
need
need it.
this break. Politicians, get the money out your pocket and put it in your community for these AAU kids. Half of these kids cannot afford no
Afford.
AAU, and that's why they walk in the street. Quit
Right.
going to get your preachers to run the community center as an AAU basketball coach. They are not athletes. They are minister of the gospel.
Right.
That's what
Right.
it would need to be. Yeah, some of these roughneck guys that's on the corners and stuff, they great athletes. They got knowledge of the game, and they willing to calm down and beat.
Hey, y'all heard it here first from Mr. Seymour Augustus. I almost call you Simone. I love this guy for his brutal honesty. He's a really, to me, I don't care what nobody else thinks. When I make my mind up about something, that's just what it is. He's a really great man to me. Him and Miss Kim, they just call me out of the blue to check on me most days. They don't want anything or ask anything of or from me. And so Miss Kim sent me Simone's website info, and also the Elks Hoop Shoot sponsored by Simone Augustus is coming up soon. I hope that Off the Bench Sports is the avenue that they use to promote it again. I really had fun watching those girls compete and learn how to shoot free throws, and so that's what it is. Simone is a person that's giving back so much that people don't know about, and she's not looking for any exposure. So I'll be getting that information out to you guys as soon as Ms. Kim gets it to me. And thank you, Mr. Simo, for joining us. And when we come back, we still got games to do. So you guys are getting an extended version of Prep News today. Oh, Mr. Simo gone. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Let's do this. Welcome back to Off the Bench Sports Prep News, where we try to give you all the latest and greatest things happening in and around the state of Louisiana and high school sports. Right now, we're at the portion of the show where I started giving you guys some games today, but we didn't get that far. We're in the middle of Class B. The last game I gave you was Country Day University Academy. It's a home game for them tonight at 7 p.m. versus Glenmora. And so up next, Episcopal Acadiana. They're at home versus J.S. Clark Leadership Academy. That's a 6:30 start time. Family Christian plays 2A Mangum. That's a home game. I'm sorry, Family Community. That's a 7 p.m. start time and a home game for Family Community. Holden Springfield. That's a home game for Holden. Start time is 7 p.m. Marpaw plays Central Private. That's a home game for Marpaw. 7 p.m. start time. Again, go check out high school basketball, high school soccer, boys and girls both across the state. Good way to spend time. Negrete Converse, that's an 8 p.m. start time. That's a home game for Negrete. In 5A, Acadiana Lafayette, that's a great battle in the Acadianas. That's a home game for Acadiana, 6 o'clock start time. Airline CE Bird, that's a home game for Airline. Ash West Washita. That is a home game for Ash. Catholic Baton Rouge versus Central Baton Rouge. That's a 5 p.m. start time. That's probably freshman JV varsity set. Covington Hammond. That's a battle of I-55, I-55, I-12. That should be an interesting matchup. District play in 7-5-8 tonight will feature Destrehan versus Terrebonne. First year coach D. Williams versus veteran coach Troy. Coach Troy was at White Castle forever. I'm having problems right now, but that should be a veteran coach versus a young lion who Coach D. Williams absolutely loves basketball. He has great wealth of knowledge as a young guy. Came up under some really great coaches in his young time, and being a high school assistant and now as a head coach. So that should be a good challenge for Terrebonne. And we'll see what happens on Monday. Jesuit St. Aug in a 9-5-8 district matchup in the Catholic League. That's a 7 p.m. home game for Jesuit. Live Oak will face Broadmoor on the road. That's a 6 p.m. start time. McKinley and Zachary. McKinley goes on the road to face the Broncos. 5 p.m. start time generally means freshman JV and varsity. If you're in the Monroe area, go check out Washita Ruston. That's a 2-5-8 district matchup. If you're in the Ascension area, St. Amant, Dutchtown, that's a 5-5-8 district matchup. That is probably a 5 p.m. start time. That's generally what 5-5-8 is. Pineville, West Monroe. West Monroe at home as Pineville travels. 7 p.m. start time. And in the Northeast and Northwest Louisiana, boys and girls play on the same night. So if it was a Monroe or Shreveport area team anywhere in between, Alexandria, whoever the boys play, the girls are playing. Down south, they play opposites. So if the boys are playing at home, the girls are playing away. I think this first week, the last week's first week was the first week of district down this way for the girls across the state, and boys generally start a week after or as soon as they finish up the non-district schedule, and that's how that works. So district come Monday will be full-fledged boys and girls. 4A Bastrop takes on Franklin Parish. That's an away game for Bastrop. Booker T. Washington, North DeSoto, that is a road game for Booker T. Washington. Breaux Bridge, St. Martinville battle of St. Martinville Parish. Home game for Breaux Bridge. Cecilia Northwest, that's a home game and a 6 p.m. start time for those two ball clubs. John F. Kennedy Bell Chase says 6:15 start time. John F. Kennedy goes on the road. .4A versus 1A, Morgan City, Ascension Christian. Morgan City travels to Donaldsonville. Should be a really good ball game. For other 4A basketball, 2 4A, 2 3A, Neville Tigers, who are, I think Neville is on like a 4 or 5 game win streak. Coach Philip Craig and company and coaching staff are doing a great job at Neville High School, getting kids prepared. Coach Brandon Landers coming off the Don Redden. He had a good Don Redden showing. Carroll's Rictavian Johnson, Ricky Johnson, Ashton Scott, Lazarus Burks, Owens, all those guys, a great mix of veteran versus young talent at Carroll High School, and they're doing a pretty good job over there coaching those kids up, getting them ready to play each and every single night. Northside Delhi game was canceled. They'll reschedule that game. Northside will now play Rayville tonight, and then they'll play the Wasman Wildcats tomorrow night. So that should be 2 really great challenges for Coach Jason Herbstler and his bomb squad. They're also big supporters of what we're trying to do here. So shout out to Northside High School, my guys, Coach Herbstler and company. Coach Richard. North Vermilion, Turlings Catholic, TCA. That's a home game for North Vermilion. Pearl River, Franklinton. That's a road game for Pearl River, 6 p.m. start time. St. Michael, North Lake Christian. Home game for St. Michael, 7:15 start time. Coach Brandon White gave St. Michael a lot of kudos the other day when he was on. So if a coach that's being said to have the best team in the state gives you credit, credit is well deserved. Westgate, New Iberia, man. And see, this is the crazy thing that, again, I was supposed to do the Dale High Northside game tonight, and it got canceled. But I definitely, if Coach Russ is still, and I hope some of you niche people are watching this, because I just happen to be free tonight. If Coach Russ was still at New Iberia, this is a game that Off the Bench Sports would definitely be broadcasting tonight. Nish, Westgate, it is a battle of the Iberia. Really, Coach James Winston does a really great job over there at Westgate, and Coach Chad, in his first year at New Iberia, kids are really buying into what he's teaching, and they're doing really well. Christian Walker, Jordan Skinner, the big guy 35, my guy number 0. God dang it, I always forget his name, man, but he's just a sophomore. He's gonna be really great the next 2 years. I like repeating the little cliches and quotes that these young kids have. He's pressure. He's expanded his game. Shoot more of the mid-range shots and dribble drive attacking, from the wing. And he can always also put his back to the basket and drop step you into a basket. So that should be a really good game. Westgate Nish. In 3A, Abbeville Gaydon. It's a home game for Abbeville. Bossier Loyola Prep. Bossier goes on the road. Caldwell Parish versus Marksville. That's an away game for Caldwell Spartans. Should be a really great game for coaches Perk and Greeny. Should be a really great challenge for those guys and their ball clubs. David Thibodeau, Pine Prairie, home game for David Thibodeau, 7 p.m. start time. DeVille, Port Allen, that's a 6-2A district matchup. Again, veteran head coach Lionel Gilbert takes on the young Lion in DeMario Jackson. Port Allen coming off a tough loss at Liberty Magnet Tuesday night. Some games you need to shake back from. Donaldsonville really good this year, so they're gonna try to protect the Tigers' den over there at Donaldsonville. ERAF Centerville, 5:30 p.m. start time. ERAF gets on the road. Mamou, North Lake Christian, that's a home game for Mamou. 5 p.m. start time. Sophie B. Wright versus Noma, 6 p.m. start time. That's a home game for Sophie B. Wright. Sterlington Wiseman in 238 district action. That is an away game for Sterlington. So they'll be in the VAMP. I think that's what it's called. After my cousin, George Belton Sr., legendary Wiseman coach, coached Wiseman High School for I think about 2 decades. Shout out to Coach Belton. Him and my father, Hobart Grayson Jr., were really close. Y'all say a prayer for my dad too, as he is in a rehab facility trying to get better so he can get back to his everyday life, man. Shout out to my sissy, April. Love you, chick. Thanks for all you do for our dad. Means the world to me. One love, sis. Another 2-3A matchup is Union Parish Richwood. Union Parish travels to Richwood. That should be a really good matchup. Richwood just coming off COVID protocols. And so we'll see. Guy was on here yesterday, and this is what I'm talking about right here. Don't talk when there's no game to be played. The same energy when they play Union tonight. Courtney McCarthy better have a good game. I'm coming at you, not Courtney. You. Don't put Courtney in that water. He just wants to play basketball. Westlake Vermilion Catholic, that's a home game for Westlake. 2A, Avoyelles Rapides, that's an away game for Avoyelles. 7:30 start time. Capital Northeast, that's a boys and girls matchup, I believe. That is an away game for Capital. West St. Mary, Catholic New Iberia, home game for Catholic New Iberia. 2 years ago, this game would have been jam-packed, so it still should be jam-packed tonight, and that's Dunham University. Dunham goes on the road to LSU to face University Lab. East Iberville Fisher, home game for Fisher. That is a 5 p.m. start time. Menard versus Bunkie, home game for Menard. That is a 7 p.m. start time. Kentwood Independence, I-55 battle. Also a 9-2A district matchup, home game for Kentwood. 7 p.m. start time. Two 2A matchup, Madison Dale High Charter, home game for Madison. Port Bar versus Welsh, away game for Port Bar. Rose Pine, Benton. Home game for Rose Pine, 7 p.m. start time. St. Thomas Aquinas, Woodlawn, Baton Rouge, 6 p.m. start time. Away game for Aquinas. West St. Mary, Catholic New Iberia, 7-2A matchup. Away game for West St. Mary. 1A, Acadiana Simsboro. Two teams right off I-20. Home game for Arcadia. Block versus St. Mary. That's a District 3 1A game. Block. It's a home game for Block. Block boys are pretty good, so that's probably going to be that's probably going to be a really good boys game for Block. St. Mary's. Crescent City, Riverside, two teams in District 9 1A that are rebuilding. Go out and support them teams because when they were strong, you guys couldn't not be in the seats at Crescent City or Riverside for all the years that Coach Timmy Bird and Coach Sean Dumas was there winning championships and you guys supported. Please don't stop that support. Those kids need you. Great one here tonight. Oh, that says cancel. Oh, my world. North Central Peabody was scheduled for tonight. It was canceled. Also, Magnolia School of Excellence versus Haynesville was canceled. See those tears? Those are real tears. Those are real tears coming down my eyes. You just hate when really good games get canceled. Those are program-changing games. Could get you on a real streak, or you hate to lose. Competitors hate to lose, so yeah, that's what it is. What we got? That's it. Oh, that's it. So again, most of the games that the boys play, the girls play at the same time, either together or away. There's only a few non-district games left out there. I think I've been on your screens long enough, man. Thank you guys for joining us off the bench sports prep hoops. Man, what a really great week. What a really great week for off the bench sports prep news. We had a lot of great interviews. We want to thank all of our guests. We definitely want to thank our soccer expert. He's also the president of the Boys and Girls Soccer LHS AA Coaches Association. President Chad Badrine at Beauchamp High School, home of the Swamp. They got a really great contest tonight, really big district game. And so, again, thanks everyone. Man, this has been a really emotional week for me. Starting this new prep sports show. It's been really great. It's been really fun. And I got to see my son play twice this week. Demetrius Price, I'm gonna post it in Off the Bench Sports as soon as I get the info, or I'm gonna go on Simone's Instagram page and see if I can find it there. But as soon as I do, I'll post it. Thanks for showing her that support. Hey man, again, I'm super happy about what I've been able to accomplish this week in building this new platform. It's a God sent and the God, blessed by God is what one of the things I always say. The other thing I always say is that God favors me. And I believe that with every fiber of my being, how else could I come this far and still be standing strong? So I'm gonna go cry, y'all. That's no lie. Thank you guys for joining us again today for Off the Bench Sports Prep News. Thank you. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.